Well, hello. Today I'm going to be reviewing one of the most accessible dry Irish stouts out there today. This is Murphy's Irish Stout. Of course, the number one selling Irish stout is Guinness, and pretty much by far. Murphy's is number 2, and Beamish is number 3. Now, Murphy's was bought out by Heineken, so this is actually a Heineken product, which when you think Heineken, you probably don't normally think of Irish beer. However, this is technically a Heineken product. Now, Irish stouts are a little more, or I should say less, alcohol heavy, of course, than the beer I did yesterday, the English barley wine, which was 11% alcohol by volume. Now, dry Irish stouts are exactly that. They're very dry, they're very light-bodied, and very, very drinkable, one could say. This particular beer has only 4% alcohol by volume, as compared to the 11% alcohol by volume by the English barley wines. Now, this is a pint can, and it has a nitro system in it, a draft flow, they call it. Now, if I kind of shake it a little bit like that, you can kind of hear something in there, and that's a widget. They call it a widget, and what the widget does is when you open up the can, it releases a flow, which allows the head of your beer to last the entire time you're drinking it, to kind of capture what it's like to have a draft, basically, at a pub in Ireland. So kind of a neat kind of invention they invented to ship over here to the U.S., and they put it in cans, and some bottles have it too with Guinness as well. So this is Murphy's Irish Stout, and it says serve chilled. This is chilled, so I think I did that right. So I'm going to open it right now. And you can kind of hear the draft flow as soon as you open it. And what you'll notice when I pour it into this pint glass, which this is a perfect pint glass, which is what you're supposed to drink a dry Irish stout out of. Pour a little bit in here. You can see a cloudiness right now, but what's going to happen is this will lift up. You can see the almost like a tornado, almost like being in the inside of a tornado. And the blackness will kind of creep up until it kind of reaches maybe here. The head will stay on the beer as well. So it's kind of a neat kind of beer to just kind of look at before you drink it. So I am going to smell the aroma of this beer, but I will tell you right now, dry Irish stouts are not really known too much for their smell. But this one does have kind of a distinctive smell to it, in that it's I'm going to say a chocolatey, kind of malty hint kind of smell, which is very, very faint. However, it is there. And since it's a very light-bodied beer, you can have several. I know people in Ireland sit at the pubs and they have tons of these all day long, pretty much. And I don't know where they find the time, being an American. But I'm going to taste the beer. Now you see right here, it is black. There's still a foam head at the top, and that head will last the entire time. But this is a pitch black beer right now, as opposed to when I poured it out when it was just kind of cloudy and kind of just settling to the top. So this is the perfect appearance that you want to actually start drinking this beer. So very little carbonation, almost non-existent carbonation in this beer. I do kind of taste the chalky kind of malt kind of taste to it. I definitely know why it's called dry. It's a very, very dry beer. There's not too much fullness to it. Not my particular style. However, this is probably one of the better beers in this style. If you're into this, I would be more into probably a milk stout, which has a little more flavor to it rather than a dry stout. But one of these with dinner would do. You can basically drink this with, I think, any kind of red meat. Definitely any kind of red meat. Even chicken, and yeah, maybe even fish as well. Fish and chips, I guess that would be the food to drink it with if you're going to go seafood. Overall, I'd give Murphy's Irish Stout, out of 10, I would give it a 6.5. Murphy's Irish Stout.